Well, this is a smartboard training, and this year I was given a smartboard by my principal, and I've been able to figure out how to use it a little bit, but there's so much more to it that this training is really going to kind of help me utilize it best with my kids.
I came here to do a refresher for myself. I had taken a smartboard training that was much more extensive. It was like 5 evenings after school over a year ago, and it was like 2 hours each one, so it was a good 10 hours of training that earned me my smartboard, and then working on it and making a notebook presentation. But this is a great refresher to see how to use it in the art room, how to make it much more useful for us art teachers.
Image web search is this bottom little puzzle piece down here. This is really cool because you can type in a word and it goes out on Bing and comes up with all these images. So I did paint, this is just a screenshot here. So I typed in paintbrush and these came out, and then I just touched that and I dragged it over there. And it makes a link to that spot where that image came from. So if that bothers you, that it's got that little icon in the corner, then you'll have to go get your images. Usually what I do is I get my images, I drag them onto my desktop, and then I pull them into here. But this is a really quick way to find images out there and just drag them over to use them.
Do you find that, are there ever any inappropriate images that it?
This is something new that I've never used before, so this was, I don't know, is this in the other version? Like I said, they changed from, I was on like, I don't even know what version I had been on, but when you asked me to do this, I went in, I'm like, holy cow, everything's different.
Yeah.
It seems the software's updated, and it seems my Mac is unable to handle the newest software. So I've got to ask Jonathan to see if my Mac needs an update to then be able to use some of the features they're showing on the new smartboard software.
All right, and then for the top panel, you know, forward and back, undo and redo. I'm not even sure what all those things are. You can go in and figure out. That is how to show full screen or not full screen. I'm going to go over here to the tools. You select a tool, so if you're going to do like shapes, it'll give you a whole bunch of shapes to choose from, and then there's drop-down menus that you can pick different things. So if you were going to do an X, you'd have to go in apparently and pick it every single time. That's a pain.
Can you clone it once you make it?
Yeah, you could. You could highlight, if you wanted to make 16 of these for some reason, rather than doing it over and over again, you would use the arrow button and highlight the item, and you could just copy.
Well, there's clone there.
Yeah.
The top,
Right at the
top, first one.
Clone, clone, clone. It's just going to keep
You still have to
cloning.
open up the
Yeah.
dialog box each time.
Yeah, you do. You do. And then you can do the undo to get rid of things.
Show them how to bring up the keyboard.
Oh, I could, but I don't ever do that.
The button down there on here. There's the 2 buttons. There's one button that's the keyboard.
Oh, hello. There we go. So I could do Command D. Oh, I
You have
can
to select, yeah.
select it. Command D. Holy cow, there you go. That's a lot of X's. But now they're all,
Are they all separate, or is it?
I don't like that.
That might not work out that way.
Is that?
Selecting it, no, it's right there.
Oh.
So I can get rid of this really quickly by just deleting the whole thing. Rather than all that other nonsense.
Rather than go to the keyboard.
What?
Rather than go to the keyboard.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
The keyboard is nice if you're doing like internet searches or something. Instead of going back to your computer, you can just bring up the keyboard and type in, whatever it is.
I don't, like, when the kids are in here, I'm not typing and doing searches and things like that.
Yeah,
Because
that's
at an
probably
elementary
dangerous.
level, you never know what's going to pop up on the screen. So
That's true.
I like to have everything just exactly clean and neat and tidy.
That's good.
So that's why I never use the keyboard. We're sticking with that story. Highlight the tool icon you want and click on the down arrow to make your selection. So if you choose text, you can pick more shapes. You can, if you click on this little down arrow here with the tools, There are other tools besides just these pens. These pens will just draw kind of like a marker. There's these crazy ones here. You can pick a crayon, you can choose a color, and you can draw with a crayon line. You can do a highlighter. You can have a text pen if the kid writes hi, I think then you, what do? Click on it again and it transposes it into the word. If the kids have good, but if they write sloppy, it might guess the letters wrong. And then you could have other things appearing on your screen, because I'm thinking like an elementary teacher, because they do have bad handwriting. Okay, there's the creative pen, which I think is kind of annoying, but the kids love it. You can make a line of smiley faces or rainbow lines or whatever. Just kind of fun for the kids. Okay? Okay. To insert a blank page or clone a page, you would go to this little arrow up here. I think I kind of got ahead of myself before. If you click on that arrow, you can do lots. You can copy the page. You can paste something from somewhere else if you wanted to. Whoops, sorry. Pick the arrow. So that was my whole text box. If for some reason I wanted that text again on another page, I could copy it, go to the next page, and paste it in on the next page, so I don't have to type it out all over again. So just like on your computer with a Word document, you can cut and paste and move things
On the
around.
older version, it doesn't have clone available.
No.
But no, it does say insert blank page, rename page, but it does not.
Couldn't you just copy it? Wouldn't it be the same? Yeah.
There was a way in the older version, I'll look at it when I'm done with it, because I was making copies of pages. It might just be a different way to, if you copy the page.
What is the
Clone
difference
the
between
page.
But
I don't
the
know
copy,
what
the
it is.
copy is not on here either.
Duplicate, you have duplicate.
I'm
All right,
pushing
let's
that
try
little
it, all
arrow.
right, here we go. We're gonna clone this page. So now I have 2, and we're gonna, what do we wanna do?
Copy.
No, it's not copy page. Oh, so now I could copy it and I could go down to my blank page at the bottom and paste. Same, just an extra step to get the same page again.
Would copying and cloning, would it still have all the interactive stuff if you copied it? Like cloning it, I would
Yeah,
assume it would.
yes.
Would copy too.
I think so. I'm pretty sure it does. Over here. Okay. And this is where you could pick the screen shade. I'm going to show you that on the next slide. If you wanted to release information to your kids a little bit at a time, and the one thing I hate about this is it's just this ugly gray screen. Like as an art teacher, I wish I could pick the color of it or put an image on there, but it's just this ugly gray screen. So you can put your finger on that little dot and you can hide and reveal your smart stuff. So you could, like, if you wanted to release, like if you wanted to have like the steps that the kids need to do, like put your name on your paper. Put your name on your paper. And then the next step is draw a circle. Draw a circle so that they would, the steps of the lesson so they follow them in some sort of sequence. You could use the shade for that. And the shade also can go sideways.
I love it thus far. I mean, from what I know so far, I've been able to hook my computer into the smart board, so it's a nice big screen. I can manipulate it, touch screen. My students know how to use it a lot better than I do. But it's been wonderful because I can also hook up my iPad to it, and I have an iPad lab, so it's so easy to demonstrate, how to do this particular app, and all of my students can see it nice and large, and then they can get into their own iPad and start using it themselves.
How did you get the shade again? Right here in the corner, there is screen shade.
Okay.
So that just took it away. And then if I'm like, oh no, I wanted that there, then you could just add it back in.
That'd be fun to game.
Yeah, to release little answers a little bit at a time. They put in some new math things. You can pick the compass tool up here, right over here. They have a lot of math stuff that they put in there with, like, if you taught high school, like, big geometry with all of the signs. I don't even remember what they mean. They have a lot of that kind of stuff, but the compass, you can pick a compass, a triangle, a protractor, a ruler, I guess. Oh, let's see the ruler. Oh, look at that. Cool. So you could do something with these rulers.
It's really good for geometric shapes as opposed to organic shapes.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought the protractor was kind of cool because you could draw circles with the protractor, with the compass. Sorry, with the compass.
That's cool. Look at a Venn diagram.
Get that out of there. Come on, start drawing. Oh, that flips it back and forth. How did I draw it?
Green.
Thank you. Okay, so you can make compasses. You can make a wonderful Venn diagram. Okay. So I thought that was kind of neat. Maybe there would be something you could use that for. Okay, you can add links. So I dragged in a picture of Campbell's soup can, and I'm teaching pop art. So I want to teach the kids about Andy Warhol. So I created a link that will take me right to this little pop art video, and I don't have my sound thing hooked up right now, and I probably have the sound off on here. The smart board is nice. It's going to make that noise. Or not.
It's on the speaker.
So you get like good sound.
To hear the video.
That's fun.
Digging the music.
Yeah.
So how do you put that in there?
Okay, I'm gonna go back. So we're gonna get rid of Firefox. So I brought in the image of the soup can, and then I can't touch the soup can now. Like, I can usually do this to get that little icon in the corner where my menu is gonna appear. If I touch the soup can, it's gonna go to the website because I already turned it into a link. So if I wanna get that little triangle thingy up in the corner so I can get a menu for it, at this point now, because I've already created a link, you have to kind of highlight it, and then you have the little thing there. So I went here, and I clicked on the word link. See, I kind of have it pictured over there. Click on the word link. And I cut and pasted the web address in there. And you have a choice. You can either launch it by clicking the object, or you can make it with a corner icon. I like to touch the object.
Yeah, kids like that too.
Yeah. So now at this point, if you touch the soup can, you don't have that problem that I had, because I have the corner link. So now, if I touch that little corner link there, it'll shoot me to the internet, the website. I love that feature. I use that a lot.
What is set image transparency? What would that do?
Pluses of the smart board is that it's interactive. Kids can get up and touch the board and work with it. They can draw on the board. They can play games on the board. The program has been upgraded, and they have some kind of wild and crazy games, matching games, a racing game where the kids race around a little racetrack answering questions. There's even a few options where the children can work with a tablet, an iPad, or their phone, or a laptop, and actually have like a little question and answer kind of game where they type in their answers and it gives them points and play on teams. It's a great review tool, I would say, for some of the testing that we actually do now in the visual arts. A review of lesson content at the end. It could be a culminating activity for a project. Okay, so I picked set image, set transparency. Now I'm going to go up here and I can slide this bar to make it like a softer. I did that. And I'm going to check it. I have a one that I wrote for Grant Wood, which I really like a lot. And I had like American Gothic, like really soft in the background with like words on top of it.
Right.
Like my lesson on top of it. So you might use that for that reason or whatever. So you have to set the transparency, you pick set transparency, and then set it, hello, and then go here and do the little slide bar thing. Okay? Okay. Also, you can lock things in place, so sometimes kids come up and they're like, ah! And they, you know, they like, things go flying. You can set things in place. If you go up here and you do lock, you can lock it in place, and then you can always go back later if you wanted to move it, and you would unlock it. So you can lock things in place. If you wanted to group something, this is probably, I don't know if I put this in here later, but if you wanted to group something, highlight both items. So I just highlighted the words and the image. So now I'll go up here and I'm going to pick group. So now if I move the soup can, those words are going to go with it. You know, if you're overlapping images, like, you know, you have a still life lesson and you have a vase that you draw and some stems and you want to group them together and have the kids move flowers into place or whatever. You can group things so that they move as a unit. Okay, now we're going to get into the Smart Lab, which is this little goofy creature thingamajiggy right there. It's called Smart Lab. And this is where I opened it up and I'm like, this is really not something that I can see myself using in class. I haven't used it yet. I'm guessing maybe the little kids will like love it. I'm not that crazy about it. I think it's kind of hokey, but anyway. So this is like a race where teams can answer questions. So it's called Speed Up. So all right, let's go back a little bit. So you pick this, and then these are all the activities that you can play in this like this really gamey looking place. And I kind of went through all of them. So I'm going to show you real quick most all of these and how I would envision maybe you could use it in your classroom. Maybe you'll love it, maybe not, I don't know. All right, so this is Speed Up. It's race time, how many racers? So we'll say 2. Right, the kids will love it. So the first group comes up and they're like, oh, we want to be the rabbit. And the next group comes up and they're like, oh, we want to be the dragon. All right, so they're racing and we wait. Wait, we need more sound. Okay, what best describes these colors? So I would guess maybe you'd have 2 kids standing up here like, oh, and they're all yelling, and oh, those are warm colors, and oh no, this group picks primary colors. So you got it right.
Are they just shouting out?
No, somebody has to pick the button here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the opposite team got it.
I'm not sure if I did one question. Oh yeah, here's the second question right there. What is texture?
So are they up there?
Yeah.
So there would be 2 students up here, or maybe they'd have a little huddle and then they'd run and push their button or whatever. So now we get to the end and we see who wins.
Oh, it's a power boost for that winner.
You have to enter your own questions.
You have to enter your own questions, okay? And I guess apparently the rabbits are not very smart. So you can review your answers to see what they are. You can add, I mean, if I was going to do this, I'd have more than 2 questions because that's like, you have to wait so long for it to get around the track. You can go in and edit your questions. You can add another question.
It's kind of like,
Kind of like what?
not Kahoot, but the other one, clickers.
Probably the kids would like it. I don't know, you enter the question there. The top one has to be the right answer, and I think it jumbles them up every time it puts them on the screen.
The idea of using games to teach concepts is something I rarely do. Sometimes I really don't have time for that sort of thing, but I can see how using the games would, work well with my kids. Especially now we have assessments, even in elementary school, and so I think it's a nice way to prepare for that. And also with the younger kids, I think it would be a great way to reinforce concepts.
Maybe.
Can you speed up the race cars?
I think if you have more questions, time limit per question, that would probably speed things up a little bit. If you had more I only had put in 2 questions. I just wanted to do a quick sample.
Yep.
Like I said, I've never used it with kids. I'm guessing they would probably love it. And I guess, it might be good for like reviewing for the 5th. I think like an elementary teacher reviewing for the 5th grade
Yes.
test, this might be really good. And it looks like you could have up to 4 teams.
And it's called Speed Up?
That's called Speed Up.
So did you put those games in there, or did they just come?
They come, if you go to this little goofy icon, what are we gonna call him?
Where is that?
It's the Smart Lab icon. It looks like a little game.
Space Invader.
Yeah, Space Invader guy. Go to the Space Invader guy.
No, that's not in the older version.
No, this is not in the older version.
That's in 16
And some
or
things that are in the older version aren't in the new version, and they're not supported. So, a few of my favorites are now gone, but I'm not gonna talk about that. So these are all the different gamey type things that they have. They have a fill in the blanks. I'll tell you, that's text only. To me, that's kind of boring. I need some visuals. This one is called Flip Out. You can pick different backgrounds. This one I just picked the monsters, but again, there's the music. Okay, and I guess you would just point to them. It's not like a matching game. Maybe you might ask them to come up here and pick all the free-form shapes, and if they got one wrong, they would sit down and somebody else would get a turn. It's not, the old version had a nice matching game. Okay, so that's called Flip Out.
And you put those images in yourself?
I put the images in and I type the words in.
Okay.
So I put the images there and I put the words over here. You can pick, I picked the monsters. They have just kind of plain back. Oh, that's a jungle. So I guess these are little jungle pictures there. I thought the monsters were cute. Different music. All right. This one's called Label Reveal. So if you were teaching foreground, middle ground, and background, you could.
That's a cool one.
Yeah, this one is, and you can add more labels in there.
I think using it in a more interactive way. Right now I'm just putting information up on the screen, but now I'm seeing there are a lot of games, lots of different tools to use with the kids.
All right, this one is called Match 'em Up. So the problem with Match Them Up, because I had like tons of, I had tons of geometric and freeform shapes here, and then I had all freeform shapes, geometric shapes over there. But if you don't pick the one that, when I set up the game, so if I got it wrong, it throws it back out again.
So you can't have multiple freeform shapes because it has to be exactly matches.
No, because it's got to be exact match the way you line them up in the
order. Okay.
in that order there, which kind of stinks. So it would have to be like, you could do something, because it's kind of, there's only 2 things there. If you did like warm colors, cool colors, primary colors, secondary colors, analogous colors, tertiary, intermediate colors,
Right.
you'd
have enough to
make a game of it. To me, this is kind of too short and quick, But it's got to match exactly when you set it up. Like if I add another image and I type geometric forms there, then these 2 are the pair, not this one and this one, even though it's the same thing.
Gotcha.
Okay, so this is called the game show. So you spin the wheel, And it's gonna ask me a question, what is a still life? Everybody cheers. Now the other team gets a question. Oh, that's fun. This would be good for a test review or something like that.
Is it words only or is there a picture?
I believe this is words only.
Okay.
So let's go in and look. The edit is the little pencil up there.
That's my team.
Yeah, so you have to type it in. It's just,
But you could always have a picture.
what?
You could always have a picture. You could always show a picture. You know, like Vanna White, have one of the kids be Vanna White and walk across
Yeah.
with a big picture. They would like it.
All right. So that is game show. Monster quiz is multiple choice. True or false. They can work in team. Okay, and this one is devices required. And I did not have, when I wrote this, I did not have my iPads at home. You start a new activity. All right, so I have not tested this out. It's gonna be sink or swim.
Sounds fun. Yeah.
Go on safari. Go. Somebody, who feels brave? Or do you want to do it on yours?
You go to classlab.com, right?
I'm guessing you go to classlab.com, and this is our activity code for this game that we're going to play right now. Hurry up and join, because the music's driving me crazy. Love it. I teach elementary, and they love to get up there and touch the board and move things around. I didn't get a turn yet. You know, they all want to be a part of it. It's very interactive. The students aren't just sitting and listening or, you know, being lectured at or raising their hand to answer a question. They actually have to get up physically, move to the board, do a little something, and have a seat. The kids, it's a great learning tool, high engagement level with all students. It's a digital world, and they love to be playing games on their phone, so this is just like a giant screen that they are moving things around and playing, touching, learning about art.